Futures indicating a higher open right now, looking for an extension of the gains that we've seen. Joining us now for perspective is Wayne Kaufman, Chief Market Analyst, Phoenix Financial Services here at the big board. Wayne, it's good to see you this morning. So we're sitting at record highs on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. What's your take on this? Is this healthy to you?
It's healthy. I'm super bullish. You know, the last time I was here was back in January. I was very bullish because of strong market breadth and corporate earnings. We were looking at that point for our 5th quarter in a row of double-digit growth. Well, now we're looking at our 6th quarter in a row, and actually the projections are for another 5 quarters in a row after this of double-digit growth. So I'm very bullish, and you know, people are talking about, can we hold 7,000 on the S&P 500? And you know, we can have short-term bouncing around, but I think there's a really good chance we're going to see 8,000 by sometime next year.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to get your perspective on that. There are some who actually have that as a target for this year, which that surprised me because I expected this to be a more, you know, challenging year. Volatility, not necessarily because of, you know, because no one could have predicted the war with Iran, right. But this was a year that was expected to be marked by volatility, especially because of midterms. So you think 8,000 this year is a stretch, but next year is reasonable.
I won't go, I'll take 8,000 this year, but again, I'll be surprised not to see it next year. So, you know, one thing regarding price targets, they're really difficult. They're difficult to do. In fact, you know, one of the stocks that I'm recommending is a great example of that. But I'm super bullish. Market breadth is excellent. You got new highs on the S&P 500 and on the NASDAQ 100, which is just on a tremendous tear, up 11% this month alone. But also, the small caps, S&P and the Russell 2000, made closing price all-time highs, not intraday, but closing price. So people who are saying, well, now we're all just back to large caps, so that's not so healthy. That's a short-term thing. It's a catch-up. For the month, mid-caps are lagging, and they're up almost 6%.
Okay, let me ask you this, though, because it makes one a little nervous when you think about small caps because, you know, when you think about one, profit, not every small cap is created equal on that front, and many, you know, are not profitable. And then, two, rates matter for small caps, and the likelihood of us getting more than one rate cut seems a stretch. What's your thought on that?
My thoughts are it's very interesting watching the futures relative to the rate cuts because at least as of yesterday, relative to June, you had a small percentage looking for a hike and a small percentage, although larger, looking for a cut. So I think rates are pretty stable and probably stay there. I think oil is going to come down over time, and I think people got shocked by oil, but you know, on an inflation-adjusted basis, to get back to the highs we saw in 2008, you'd have to have $220 oil or so to match that high on an inflation-adjusted basis. We use, you know, drivers get more mileage, and I think that one thing we learned from COVID and definitely from tariffs is that our companies are fantastic at managing their supply chains, and I think you're going to see it globally. So in the short term, you've got relatively high oil, but I think longer term, this is going to be really, really great for the energy market.
And let me ask you this for the earnings picture, right? We've seen strength so far this earnings season. Part of that has to do with the labor market, the low hiring, low firing, getting more, doing more with less. What's your thought on that?
I think we have amazing productivity, and the labor market is very stable. And we just saw with the ADP numbers, those were strong numbers, the 4-week averages. And we keep seeing every Thursday the amount of jobless claims. It's very, very low. And the S&P 500, revenue per employee is at record levels. And this is pre a lot of the AI stuff. And, you know, people are always asking me, what inning are we in with AI? You know, market loves what inning we're in of this or that. And my answer is, we're in batting practice. We're not even in any innings yet. So I think the productivity story is tremendous.
Well, let me ask you, speaking of the AI innings, you know, we often talk obviously about Nvidia as it being the king of AI, but AMD's been an outperformer compared to, it hit another record high yesterday. Nvidia approaching 200. What's your thought on Nvidia? Is it still the king of AI?
Nvidia is still the king of AI. I think that you know, it just gave us some short-term buy signals. The stock's very reasonably valued here, but I'm super bullish on tech, and specifically, as you know, for a long time, on semiconductor chips. And I didn't see the Texas Instruments stuff until I heard, you know, you talking about it. But Texas Instruments is a great indicator of chip demand. And they're not that AI focused. Their chips are the mundane, the mundane that go into the economy. You know, analog chips, not the super bleeding edge chips. So the whole chip sector is phenomenal. I think the AI is just a continuation of a fantastic tech bull market that we've been in for literally decades.
Okay, all right. We'll have to leave our conversation there for time, Wayne. That's Wayne Kaufman, Chief Market Analyst at Phoenix Financial Services. Our thanks to Wayne for joining us here at the Big Bull.